Welcome back to the Organic Rose. Today we're going to do just a wonderful summertime cooler. These are tomatoes I picked out of our organic garden. You can see they're not picture perfect. There's a little bit of cracking going on for leaving the tomato on the vine for maybe a week too long. But the tomatoes are nice and sweet, and all their natural sugars have been given a chance to develop within the tomato. So I'm going to make a salad. So I've taken some of the tomatoes and cored them. So you just take the stem out, and it's really simple. I'll use this one and go like that. And if you want to get some of the cracking out, you can cut that out at this point as well. That can go into our compost. And we'll continue to cut it, get the core out and the stem out. There we go. And we'll do this big one. I love tomatoes raw, broiled, barbecued. Just don't leave them on too long. But they're just delicious, especially when they come out of your own garden. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and slice the tomato this way, cut it in half. Look at that. That's beautiful, huh? Yum. And we'll go ahead and cut this one in half. And we'll get a little bit of that stem out of there. And cut this one in half. It really doesn't matter how you cut them in half, but whichever way you decide to, if you're going to go this way or this way, just make sure you keep it uniform. So we'll flip it over onto the flat side, and we'll cut it from the outside in. So flipping it onto the flat side, you're not having the tomato roll around on you. So it's a little bit safer that way. And they're definitely juicy. Flip that over and cut it. Like I said earlier, this is a great summertime cooler or a fall time cooler. And let's get this guy over here too. Using all the tomatoes out of our garden, using some cucumbers out of our garden, some red onions out of our garden, and some basil, of course. Just makes for a really nice dish. We're going to go ahead and put the tomatoes on here, and we're going to shingle them with a little bit of red onion and a little more tomato. And then I've got these cucumbers. This is a pretty large cucumber, so I peeled it, I sliced it. Now we'll go ahead and cut those slices in half and just kind of add them on there. So the reason I'm using all this right now is your garden, if it's taken care of properly, is going to produce a lot of vegetables for you and fruit as well. But it's starting to get a little bit cool outside. The fog's starting to come in. We're getting a couple sprinkles here and there. The wind's starting to pick up again. We're heading into fall, basically, is what's going on. So knowing that, we like to go ahead and get all of our tomatoes and peppers and basil and everything off the vines and bring it inside the house to harvest. Or harvest rather than bring it inside the house. Some organizations, if there's too much for you to eat, your family, there's just way too much food out there. Maybe you overplanted perhaps. Maybe you overseeded maybe, I don't know. But there's different organizations that will come to your property and they'll go ahead and send a couple people out and they'll go ahead and pick the tomatoes and the peppers and the basil that you have extra, and they'll take it back and serve it in their facility for those people that are maybe a little bit in need of that. And it's a good thing to do, or you can have, and that's called gleaning also. Some people will come and glean your garden for you, which is a nice thing to do. And you're kind of sharing with others that are not so as fortunate as you are. Here's the basil, and I'm going to take the leaves and stack them just like that. Let's get this cucumber on here before it's in my way. So I'll stack them And then I'll roll them up. Okay, and now we're going to cut ribbons. This method of cutting is called chiffonade. And by doing this, cutting the basil this way, you're releasing a lot more of the oils than you would just by tearing the leaves. Or by it's a great way to release the oils, maybe 3 times more oil than normal. I can smell the basil up here. Roll it up. Chiffonade it. Okay. Now let's go ahead and finish building our salad. And you can just put these out here like that. Put over here. And then we'll start adding some more tomato to it. And the ends, what I do with the ends of the tomatoes that have a lot of skin, I'll set those aside, put those in a container and refrigerate them, and then use them for a soup or a sauce later on down the road. Speaking of refrigerating, you don't want to refrigerate tomatoes because you get the tomatoes really cold, they'll tend to lose some of their wonderful flavors, and the flavors will get masked. And you also don't want to salt your tomatoes before serving, because the salt, by adding salt, it's going to draw a lot of the moisture out of the tomato, and you'll end up with this beautiful salad sitting in a puddle of tomato juice. Not good. Now here's a bell pepper out of our garden. I'm going to go ahead and slice it, cut it in half first. Set that over there. Take the ribs out. So they're kind of soft, that can go in the compost. And we're going to cut those julienne style. So just long ways, as thin as you can. Yellow peppers, green peppers, red bell peppers, they're going to taste a little bit different from each other, but it's basically a bell pepper, just comes in different colors. It grows in different colors. So you can just spread them out there. Do a little bit more onion on there. And well, that looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and take my pepper grinder and crack some black pepper over it. So you've got white from the cucumber, red from the tomato, dark red from the tomato, a lighter red from the red onion, and the yellow from the bell pepper. So a very nice contrast of colors here. Oh, what did he forget? He forgot the garlic. No, I didn't forget it. It's been peeled and minced up. I'm going to sprinkle it over the top. See, with me, when I smell garlic, I start to salivate. I love garlic. That's how I was brought up. Okay. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. Now, it's lacking the basil, chiffonade, which I have right over here. A little bit more of that. Let's go ahead and do these as well. Stack them. Roll them, and go ahead and run the knife through them. So now let's finish up this dressing. This is a really good sized salad. I think it needs one more slice of tomato in there. Right there. Okay, so it's got the cucumber, it's got the red onion, it's got the ripe tomato, it's got the yellow bell pepper, it's got some garlic over the top, some basil chiffonade. Let's go ahead and drizzle it with some olive oil. I happen to make my own olive oil from our olives. It sure is nice to have on hand. Okay, there's the olive oil. My favorite vinegar is apple cider vinegar. This is a cider vinegar made from organic apples, grown and produced locally in Sonoma County. You know what, sometimes the organic apple cider vinegars have a little bit of sediment to them. That's okay. We'll just kind of drizzle some of it with a spoon. I've heard of people say that you should take a tablespoon of vinegar a day, of cider vinegar, and it's very good for your health. Yeah, I could do that, but I prefer it on a salad. So a little bit more. So there's all the basil on it. So since we're going to eat it right now, I'm going to go ahead and salt it. So I take some coarse salt that I put in a salt grinder, a mill, and we just grind it on there. Don't forget, you don't want to oversalt it. You can always add salt. If you need more salt, you can always add it later. But if you have too much in there, not a good thing. I think we're set. Look at that. Let's see what it tastes like. That is absolutely perfect. So, and if you have too many tomatoes on your vines, too many peppers, too many onions, whatever, out of your vegetable garden, feel free to share it with your friends and share it with the public, people that are not fortunate enough to have a garden like you. And there's different organizations that will definitely come out and pick up product for you and take it back to their food bank or their facility and possibly prepare it, give it away to people that, like I say, are less fortunate than you. But yes, for sure, enjoy your wealth, all your hard work, and enjoy it with some other people that you might not necessarily know as well. So it's a good thing to do, and it just, Hawaiians say chicken skin, just gives me goosebumps thinking about that. But enjoy it, enjoy life, be good to your family and your friends, and I'll catch you next time on The Organic Rose.